let's cover BS busters. Don't be fooled. We're talking Ford Maverick. We're talking Ford Bronco. The Ford Maverick and Ford Bronco did not get their prices raised so Ford could let dealers make more money. That's just not the case, and I'm going to explain to you why that's not the case, how that is very far from the truth in both intention and results. It's the opposite in when it comes to consequences or results. So what's going on? There's people on YouTube claiming that Ford raised their prices on the Ford Bronco and the Ford Maverick just so that dealers can make more money. Well, here are 3 easy things to know and remember so that you know that you're not going to get fooled with this incorrect information. They're either lies or just, incorrect. So Ford raised prices and dealer profit when sold at MSRP. So yes, it is a fact that Ford has raised their prices, and the lie is that now the dealers are making, way more profit, that they raised prices so dealers could make more. Well, that's not what's going on. That's not what Ford's price increase is about. It's completely wrong. So throw my notes on the ground. So Ford raised prices because, well, first of all, inflation has and the cost of materials have gone up. But if we go back to 2020 and 2021 on the F-150, the price barely rose. The MSRP barely rose, but the rebates slowly decreased. And then when there were no rebates then they increased MSRP slightly. So in 2022, I was still saying, great time to buy. Your trades are worth about, I was saying about 30-35% more. Statistically, data-driven information, they were worth 43% more. Average trade was worth 43% more than its historic norm. So roughly $10,000 more, which is, I always said $10,000 more is always my example. A truck we would have paid $30,000 for, we're now paying $40,000 for. So yeah, let's remember that manufacturers outsource most of their parts. They assemble vehicles is what they're doing. And that's true for Ford, Volvo, that's true all around. Everyone is outsourcing their parts. And inflation has got the cost of materials and finished products to increase. So even windshield wiper motors, heck, the windshields themselves, door insulation, all that's everything. Mud flaps, mud guards, bed liners, it's all gone up. And that ends up being reflected in the end product. Now, when Ford had contracts to buy, 100,000 of X part across all the parts, they didn't raise the parts until they had to renegotiate contracts. And then, new contracts, the contract goes up, they pass that on to the customer. So this is what actually happens. When the price goes up and when demand finally starts to come down because the price has gone up, then what that means is dealers can't charge over MSRP, or they have to decrease MSRP. You see Jeep dealers, Ram dealers that are still trying to either charge over MSRP or have forced add-ons to their prices are starting to collect. Brandon from Car Questions Answered just recently did a lot walk at a Jeep dealer, and he was like, hey, last time I came here there were 3 Wagoneers and now there's 6. Why has the supply of available Wagoneers gone up? And he saw they're still trying to force $3,000 of bogus add-ons, so they're going to collect them. Eventually that dealer paying 7 to 10% floor plan, which is just a word for interest rates on what they have on their floor or parked in their parking lot, they're going to get tired of paying that 7 to 10%. They're going to wake up, get smart, and get rid of their fake fees. So that's how prices are going to come down. Ford's CFO, John Lawler, actually thinks that prices for Q2, he's saying that prices don't really need to come down because demand is still very good at Ford. But I suspect that prices are going to come down quite a bit in the sense that there won't be any more MSRP. Minus the Lightning fiasco. Great if you don't own a Lightning yet. Horrible if you already own one, but that's the next episode. So Ford raised their prices. Guess what, folks? Trades are still worth more. If you don't have a trade, I'd wait out a few months to buy a vehicle